Yeah. What's up to you people on the internet? My name is MrNiiMer and I bring to you MrNiiMerGeeks. So today I have another one from our friends from Fix Carao. Um at this point, literally I'm just pushing and then plugging Fix Carao. But yeah, I have another one from Fix Carao and this is for our Mac people. So people using MacBooks and then uh possibly I don't know if iOS, but yeah, macOS. I think this would be like the fourth thing from Fix Carraro. So if you're out there and you find this interesting, share to people out there so that they can also use this when they are using their MacBooks and then macOS. So let's go in straight to it. Now, I think some of the options here we've already spoken about or talked about, but yeah, we'll still bring it up. But the first thing is Raycast. So with Raycast, I think I've heard a couple of like YouTube people talk about Raycast, especially those who are actually into Mac. Um, I think it's a Spotlight. It's for Spotlight. Mac itself already has a Spotlight, but this Spotlight has like a bunch of things in there. I think there's another one where you can integrate AI into. I don't know if it's Raycast, but yeah. So from what it says here, Raycast literally is a supercharged Spotlight, app search, clipboard history, calculator, snippets, window management, all from one shortcut. So the longer you use it, the more you realize how much time you are wasting. So let's check out Raycast. I don't know if it's the one that I'm actually talking about, but uh, what is Raycast? What does it do? So Raycast is a fast, highly customizable launcher and productivity tool for macOS. And okay, you can use it on Windows too. I never knew that. I thought it was only for Mac and Windows. That lets you control your computer and apps using keyboard shortcuts. So think of it as a supercharged alternative to the built-in Mac Spot Searchlight or Windows Start menu. It acts as a central command center where you can type or use hotkeys to perform actions instantly without navigating menus with a mouse. Oh, okay. That's good. So what does Raycast do? So app launcher and then file search opens up, finds documents, filter files instantly, window management, resize, snap, center, and organize open windows on your screen using simple keystrokes, clipboard history. Save everything you can copy so you can search, filter, and paste, parse text, clips, colors, or links, snippets, or text expansion. So create short abbreviations like /email that automatically expand into long pieces of text or template or code. That's cool. Built-in calculator and converters. Do math, convert currencies, check different world time zones, and calculate date differences directly from search or from your search bar, from the search bar. So and it has an extension store too. So extension store, install community made extensions to control Spotify, check your calendar, search YouTube, update your Slack status, or run speed tests. So Raycast AI, yeah. So chat with advanced AI models or run quick AI commands integrated straight into your operating system. Wow, that's cool. So yeah, that's it for Raycast. Like I said, I thought it was for only Mac OS, but I never knew it was for Windows too as well. So I'll try to check it out today. Maybe make a video on that. So the next thing from our people at Fix Carraro is rectangle. So rectangle. Snap windows left, right, corners, thirds using keyboard shortcuts. Mac doesn't do this natively. So one of the first things anyone coming from Windows install, which is true, because the Windows you can literally put things in almost every quadrant of your screen. You can put it in the top corner, the top, the bottom, the right, the left, the top right corner, the top left corner, the lower right corner, lower left corner. You can do that. So anybody who has used that, you can literally just download Rectangle on your Mac OS, and then you can do that too as well. I think the next one is Maccy or Maccy. So Maccy or Maccy. So clipboard history, copy 20 things, press one shortcut, access all of them, access any of them instantly. So yeah, I think the last time we were talking about this where I said or Mac OS or iOS doesn't really have a clipboard. When you copy one thing, that's the only thing you can copy back. The moment you copy another thing, that one thing you copied before disappears. So I think with this is really really cool. If you could copy up to 20 things and then save it or hold on to it and then later just go back to it and then copy everything back. So I think that's really really cool. So Maccy or Maccy. The next one was the fan favorite. So LocalSend. So airdrop but for everything. So airdrop but for everything. Mac to Windows, Android to iPhone, any combination, no account needed, no cable. Just works over Wi-Fi. So that's true. Yeah. I haven't really used it over a network, a wired network. I've always been using LocalSend over a Wi-Fi. So I don't know. Maybe one of these is when I get a chance to test it over a wired network. I'll see how it works. But yeah, anybody who literally, if you are using Mac OS, obviously you are used to AirDrop. The AirDrop literally just works between Mac OS and an iOS, or just two Mac OS machines. Again, the last time we were talking about this, where I think in the Pixel 10 and now the Pixel 11 or the Pros or maybe the full suit as well. I think AirDrop from an iOS device or a macOS device to an Android device now works. I think I'll find a video on the explanation of how that works, and then we'll kind of like delve into that. But yeah, if you don't have any of these specific devices, you can literally just download LocalSend and you'll be able to send things from iOS to macOS if you choose not to use AirDrop, or you can literally send something from iOS to Windows or from Windows to macOS or macOS to Windows or whichever combination that you choose. You literally can use LocalSend. I have LocalSend on here and I use it all the time. There's a new update. I saw a new update for, I think um, iOS was maybe a couple or a few days ago, and then I saw an Android update too. So there hasn't been any update to the Windows side, but I think the Windows is still, I think, 1.17. The version is 1.17 or so, but I think with the iOS and then probably maybe Mac OS and then the Windows, the Android versions, they have different versions now. So you can check LocalSend out if you are someone you are using Mac OS and then you would want an alternative to AirDrop. Now, this one is Ina. So I think we talked about this on the last, I think maybe the last two videos where we did something similar to this. But yeah, Ina literally handles any video format that you choose at it. Feels completely native and then looks clean. So Ina is literally the VLC of macOS. You could say that. So if you ever want to use, if you don't want to use VLC on macOS, but you would want to use another player that literally functions just like macOS, then I think Ina is your option. So IINA, Ina. The next is Kicker. So Kicker is again the WinZip or the WinRAR version of Mac. But yeah, so zip RAR files 7Z tar. It opens all of it without any of the weird errors Mac throws at unusual archive format. So I haven't really experienced this on Mac. Well, I think I haven't, like I said in one of the videos back then, I haven't really used Mac that much, so I really can't tell. But yeah, if you're someone you use Mac and then you run into problems with most of the archive formats or archive files that you use, example, the zip files, your RAR files, your 7Zs, and then your TARs, I think you should try Keka out. Keka, Keka, and then it will handle almost every archive format that you throw at it. Another, so I've been hearing of this. So this is Obsidian, and Obsidian is literally a note or notes stored as plain files on your Mac. No cloud locking, no subscription for core features. You set it up once and then you use it for years. So Obsidian. So I think if you are into note taking on any of the devices out there, I think me, I used to use Evernote. I don't know what happened, and then I just stopped using Evernote, and then I switched to OneNote, and I've been using OneNote since. I also tried using the Apple Notes, but I think because you couldn't get it on the other side, as in maybe you're using an iOS device or a Mac, you couldn't get it on the Windows side. I think there was this trick that I don't know how I was able to do it, but if you're using a Notes app, you could literally sync it to your Gmail, and then when you go into your Gmail, you find it in your drafts. All the notes that you make, you find it in your draft. So that was also a cool tip. I don't know if it still works under now, but yeah. Let's check out Obsidian. So Obsidian, let's do the same thing we did with Raycast. So Obsidian. I think the first time I heard of Obsidian was from the Waveform podcast by MKBHD. I think one of his what's his name? I forgot about one of the sound, not the sound engineer. I think the editor, the main editor for the main video editor for the podcast. I've forgotten his name, but he mentioned Obsidian. And so he says here, Obsidian is a powerful local first note-taking and knowledge management application that turns a collection of plain text files into an interconnected personal wiki. Oh, okay. Then that would be cool. So what does it do? So it stores data locally. It saves all your notes as standard markdown. So there's MD files directly on your device inside a folder called the vault. And then it links notes together. So you can easily connect related ideas using bidirectional wiki links using double brackets files. Double brackets like, okay, so double brackets and then the notes name. Preventing your thoughts from living in isolation. That's also cool. And then visualize connections. It features a dynamic graph view that visually maps out how your notes and concepts relate to one another like a personal web. Okay. Ensures data ownership. Because it uses open formats on your local drive, you truly own your data and are never logged into a proprietary ecosystem, of course. And then customizes with plugins, so you can expand its core capabilities using thousands of community plugins and themes for task management, canvas brainstorming, and then custom layouts. Okay, that's cool. Let's check this out and then see. So Obsidian.
Obsidian Basics for Beginners in 60 seconds. Obsidian is one or more folders of notes on your computer called a vault. Inside that folder are notes, which are just individual text files. So you can open them in Obsidian, text edit in VS Code, Ulysses, and many more. So if Obsidian disappears tomorrow, you'll still be able to open your notes. Inside Obsidian, you can create a new note, add folders to organize them, search for any notes you want here, or add favorite notes to your bookmarks for quick access. Click on a note to see it on the right, Command or Control click to open notes in new tabs, and click and drag to pull tabs into panels for multitasking. Create a new note to add it to your Ideaverse. Then type double brackets to link to a new note at any time. Do this enough and you'll begin to see your Ideaverse grow and grow. Obsidian Basics for Beginners in...
Okay, this is really, really cool. So shout out to you. Linking your thinking. Sorry for that. But linking your thinking. So shout out to that. So I think this is really, really cool. I think the way you are able to link your notes is like the best feature to this. But having your notes locally too is also cool. But I think most of the reason why people use most of these notes apps is just because you can, it's like multi-device use, so you can have it on any device out there. So you can use something on your iPhone, and then you can literally just get the same notes on your Windows, and then later get the same notes on your Mac. And then maybe, let's say, God forbid, any of your devices gets spoiled, you still have access to it. So I think this is also cool. So then maybe if you're using it, I don't know if it has a backup feature in there, but then literally you have to back up your own notes too as well. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one is LibreOffice. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, completely free. Opens Microsoft Office files without issues. The only reason people pay for Office is because they don't know this exists. Now I've tried using LibreOffice, and I think it was really really cool. But I just got to the point. I just went back to Microsoft Office 365. I think though, I don't know if they have that in there, but there's this dictation thing in Microsoft Office where you just click and then you dictate, and then it fills up whatever space that you. So if you're even using Excel, you can just click dictate and then it fills the cells up. If you're using Word, it's literally the same thing. If you're using PowerPoint, basically the same thing. So I think I was using that and I just left and then go back. I think I also tried WPS on PC, and that was also cool. But then it got to a point I think I had to create an account, and then every time I was using it, it just took out disabled some features. So now I had to pay. So then I was like, yeah, let me just go back to my office. But yeah, LibreOffice is also cool. If you're out there and you want to try it, you should actually try it. It's free. It has almost all the features that Microsoft or Office has, and then you can use that there. Um, and now there's Handbrake. So I've been hearing about Handbrake a lot, but yeah, Handbrake converts, compresses, and then changes video formats. So you drop a file in, choose settings, and then you're done. No subscription, no watermark, no catch. So it's literally a converter for videos. I think maybe they might have an option for audio too as well. But if you want any compression, so sorry, not compression. If you want any converter on your Mac OS, I think Handbrake would be the best. So yeah, now again, most of these features we've spoken about already, but these are actually cool. So there's been many times where I would want to convert a video or even just edit a video and then convert it into a different format and then convert audio and all that kind of stuff. So again, if you're using macOS, let's run it back. Try Handbrake. If you don't want to use Office on macOS, there's the option for LibreOffice, Obsidian. Again, it's a cool note-taking app, so you should try it out too. If you don't want to use the Evernote and then the OneNote and then iOS, the Notes app on iOS and all that kind of stuff. Again, Kicker. If you want to win RAW on your macOS and you don't want to win RAW on your macOS, I think Kicker is the one. Kicker is going to take care of your zips, your RAW files, your 7Zs, and then your TARs. There's Inner too as well. So again, if you want to use VLC on your Mac, but you don't want to use VLC on your Mac, Inner is the one. So Inner is IINA. Again, they say it plays all video formats. I don't have a Mac. If I had one, I would try it. I don't know if there's Inner for Mac. Sorry, for Windows. I'll try that too as well. And again, the fan favorite, LocalSend. So if you don't want to use AirDrop and you want something, if you don't want to use AirDrop, right, but you want AirDrop, I think this is the best alternative. Like I said, it works over Wi-Fi. It has its issues here and there, but yeah, if you want this kind of combination where you'll be able to send something from your Mac OS to Windows, or from Windows to your Mac OS, or from Windows to your iOS device or anything, LocalSend is the one to use. And there's also Maccy. So Maccy takes care of your, or becomes your clipboard on your Mac OS. And then again, like I said, you can copy up to 20 things and then have access to it. There's also Rectangle. So Rectangle is for window snapping. So if you're someone you've been using Windows, Microsoft Windows, you know that you can actually snap whatever it is that you open. So literally, this is an example. So snap to the right, snap to the left, snap to the top, snap to the bottom, literally snap to the corners too as well. Right, so you can snap to the corners too as well, and then it becomes a 4 quadrant. So if you ever want to like try this on macOS, rectangle is the app. And then there's Raycast. So if you are using macOS already, you know you have a spotlight where you can literally enter things into, search for things, start things, and all that kind of stuff. But the Raycast is kind of like the supercharged spotlight where you can do more than that. It also has clipboard history in there too as well. And then it also has AI. So you can literally just key in shortcuts and then it will start up things or processes for you in there. So thanks for watching this. If you're a fan, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. A sub would be also welcomed. If you find or you want any feedback, you want to give me any feedback or you have any expressions, just put it in the comment section. And if you think this will help out anyone there who's trying to maybe move from Windows to Mac or is already a Mac user, then you should share this to them too as well. And thanks for watching, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.